wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and not everyone is able to join us today.
Yeah, a lot of
but
people
as
can't
we
make it today.
can- As we can see, we've got lots of folks that are able to join us. Jacqueline Price, welcome. Hello. And just this next 1 minute while we are gathering, everyone can be unmuted. So please
Say hi.
shout out. Hi, Denver.
Hello.
Denver.
Hello.
Be with you again.
Hey.
Hello,
Hi.
hello. Suzette. Hi, Suzette.
Hi, Suzette.
Hello.
Hey.
Margie.
Hi.
Both Margies.
Yes.
Bernisa. Is your name Bernisa or Teresita? What's
Vanessa.
Bernessa? Thank you. Welcome. So wonderful to be with you.
It'd be great if everyone, if you know how, you can add your geographical location next to your name. It'd be fun to see where everyone's represented here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay, I will
To do
try.
that, next to your picture, there's 3 dots, the top right corner of your picture. And then click rename. And then you can add your full name or any part of your name or your, I don't know, animal name if you want. No, just kidding. And your location.
I'll try it
Hey,
another time. I'm not so.
What's that, Nicole?
That's okay, Nicole.
I do it
hey,
another time.
Notre
You
Dame.
can also
All right.
I'm from
put it in
Belgium.
the chat box. That's another option.
All right, because we like to be precise with our timing and not go over, we will gather our energy here and everyone can go ahead and mute now. And I turn my word to you, Claire Molinard.
Thank you, Kristina. And hello, everyone. I'm so excited. To be here with you all. It feels like being invited in a family and getting to know all the cousins and the friends. So I'm just really moved to see how much intimacy there is in this group. And I'm happy to see all these new faces. Some of you I don't know, and of course there's a lot of you that I've met in person and are in One Mountain. And so if you don't know me, I am part of this Unique Self Symphony. My name is Claire Molinard, and I've been in this circle for about 10 years. I'm the founder of Unique Self Emergence, which is a psycho-spiritual process that facilitates unique self emergence, consciousness. I'm also about to launch the Unique Self Institute. It's a project that Dr. Mara Gaffney and I have been working on for the past 2 years. It's about to launch, and the main mission of the Institute is going to be to be the holder, the container for all unique self teachings, theory, for how to bring, how to apply it in different disciplines. And so it's going to be the vehicle to bring unique self teachings into mainstream culture. And you'll hear much more about this in the next few weeks. But yeah, just to put it in the air right now, this is about to happen. And so this collaboration between Unique Self Institute and One Mountain is this course is the first collaboration between these two sister organizations of the Center for Integral Wisdom. So yes, it's just a delight to be diving into these teachings again. When I took this course in 2013, it was a teleconference call course. Can you remember the pre-Zoom times when we used to call to get on a course? The only person I think that was in that course with me is Kirsten Zohar on this call. I don't think anyone else on this call was there. And so that's almost 10 years ago. And just for the little story, I had just read the book. The book had came out in 2012. It was for me a turning point in my life, this book. At the time I was deeply immersed in Zen practice. It was my main practice, and so it was I was really holding the koan of what do I, Dr. Mark often speaks about what is there to do, and that was my question. That was my koan at the time, as I was practicing true self and being, really deep into the Zen teachings that are beautiful true self teachings. I was really holding that question: what is there to do? Once you had a taste of that true self, or many tastes, or or a revelation of true self, what is there to do? And I was in pain, and this book, this teachings, Unique Self, really came as a transmission, a revelation of what there is to do, and it gave me a whole new energy to go out in my life and to actually bring my my practice, my realization into practice, into action, because the unique self are really about action. The unique self teachings are really about action. So I'm so overjoyed to be launching this course 10 years later. So what we're going to do together in this first part of the course is dive again into the teachings. This course is holding really the fundamental teachings of unique self, and 10 years later, they're still, everything in this course is the foundation for going deeper into the Dharma of Dr. Mark Gaffney that he's been developing in the last 10 years. And having been here for 10 years, and Kirsten Zohar can testify of this, and some of us here have been here for a few years, the Dharma is developing all the time, deepening all the time. So it's really, really a good idea, I think, to actually go back to the fundamentals, get really strong into the principles of unique self, of outrageous love, of the distinctions, the very basic distinctions between separate self, unique self, true self. So this is really what we're going to do this next few months. And yeah, I'm excited. And with that, I'm going to give my word to Jamie, who's going to give us a little orientation into the practical things. Jamie?
Hi, everybody. It's so great to feel everyone again. And it's my pleasure here to, we have a couple pieces to the course together. And so I just wanted to, I was going to share my screen and go through the different platforms and exciting ways that we can connect together. And there's such rich material, and we're meeting until January 7th. So we have several months to really deepen our intimacy. So let me start with first, for people who are first time of navigating the actual course, the Awaken Your Unique Self course. And I'm just gonna, it's an online platform called CIW Programs. And what you have, if you get this is the emails that you should be getting, like this one for Unique Self. And so you can enter into the programs, the login to this is for the Unique Self course program. You can get there from here, and it should take you to the login screen. And so separately, you'll receive a login and a password, which is usually your email. And you should get a separate email for new people. It looks something like this, and you'll have your own unique login and your password, and you just type in the password that you get in from the email from the system, and then that'll allow you access here. So for example, so when you do log in with your password, then you'll log into the platform, and then you just choose the Awaken Your Unique Self here.
I'm not in your shared screen, Jamie. I don't know whether anybody else is getting it or not.
Oh, can you see my screen?
We're seeing it here.
I can
Oh, you
see
see
it.
Okay.
Someone
Sorry,
can see it?
Rebecca, yes. Yes. And so then this, once you log in with your password, then you open up the course, one of the 9 courses, then you have access to all the 10 beautiful 10 modules. And then we'll be going each week, we'll be going through the next lesson. So this gives you all the access to all the recordings from Dr. Mark, the practices. And so we'll be going through at our pace, and Claire will be giving you which lesson will come up next. So I want to do that first. And then second, we have an exciting, this is new for everyone. We've opened a sutra space. And so I sent everyone this morning a invitation. And so you should be getting an email, something like this. You've been added to an open circle. And so then when you click, you'll be asked to register. So go ahead and register. The email that you sent to, you can use that as your login address, and you create a password. And then once you're in the space, then I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. So for me, so then you'll open to the page, and we have a beautiful page called Awakening Your Unique Self. And then I suggest you can just go start here. And from here, it has a little background information. You can enter the Mark Gaffney's the course from here, the CIW programs. And then as you can see on the left panel here, each of the upcoming sessions, we've already pre-loaded some of the a space. So each one of these spaces here is a whole, like this is today's. And there's a discussion board here, and you can post message to the whole group here. And then a really great function here, if you want to tag someone, you want to send it, get someone's attention, you can use this @ function, and then so like @ Claire, and I say here, and then Claire will get, and then post that, and then Claire will get she'll get a personal message that someone's posted on Sutra. So this is a great way that we can post questions. If you have a question, anything on the course, feel free to go ahead and post in the discussion groups. Okay. And then, so I think those are the main things. Are there any questions? Here, you can always email me at jamie@centerforintro.org. I'm happy to help you. And I'm looking forward to a really amazing space with us together, and and we have a senior teacher with Claire. We can really deepen into the teachings of Unique Self. So I love you, everyone. Please email me. I'm here for you, and we want to have a wonderful space together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. That's wonderful. And yes, again, if you have any trouble with Sutra or with anything, you can just email us and we'll figure it out. Okay, so I think we're going to go into
Meditation.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Well, it's so good to see everyone. New faces and familiar faces. And I'm just so blown away. I mean, this is, as we get into kind of the settling in and grounding ourselves in a meditation, we can first really, point out the patterns that brought us here. Because when we talk about evolution, which is a big context for our conversations, right? That we live in an evolving cosmos. It's not somewhere else, right? It's actually happening right here. And a very tangible, obvious way it's been happening is through the evolution of this very group. I want to acknowledge Jamie, who just spoke, for holding all the logistical stuff, right? And this actually is kind of this course has evolved from its early period because Jamie and Kristina really took it the next step. So we've had courses before this, co-study groups that were of other groups. And before that, actually, someone named Nathan kind of started off this little co-study process a few years ago. And each time more and more people come, more and more energy, more and more attention, more and more aliveness. And I just see it up-leveling every single time. So it's quite amazing to see that happening. And if we also look at evolution as separate parts coming together to form larger wholes, we see, Claire, who's hasn't been part of these co-study groups, but been part of this community for about 10 years, and building her practice and her expertise and her knowledge in the Dharma and her work with Mark. And I met Claire actually 10 years ago when she was my coach, and we hadn't been in the same community. So, kind of this weaving that has been happening to bring us all together. Each of us has our unique story, which we'll get into, right? That has brought us here. And so if we look around, we can actually observe the evolutionary process happening real time. So for the next few minutes, I want to actually ask us to look inside now. So if you can, find a comfortable position. And let's close our eyes, because as Mark often says, there are certain things we can see with our eyes open and only certain things we can see with our eyes closed. So let's ground ourselves in our breath and be present to this very moment. Evolution is the evolution of intimacy. So in every moment, we can actually be more intimate with ourselves. So right now, let's take a moment to scan our bodies and just be intimate with our body, from the ground, touching our feet, to our ankles and knees, legs, waist, touch into our belly, our chest, shoulders, our breath. Let's be intimate with our arms, hands and fingers, neck, head, face. With every breath, being more intimate with our very body, which is this vehicle for spirit in the flesh, for evolution now. Also intimate with our feelings, our emotions, whatever they may be, our thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future, thoughts of this moment. Some thoughts are more strong in our minds, some are just floating by. Let's be intimate with our entire experience. Intimate with our surroundings, the way that we're being held by the biosphere. With every breath, feeling intimate with the biosphere that is giving us life. Now, let's go a step deeper and actually tap into our feeling of allurement. The allurement that has brought us here. The desire, the yearning, the longing in our very being that has brought us here. It has made us email Jamie, wake up today and get on the computer and log into Zoom to show up. What is that allurement? What is that longing, that yearning? Find it in our very being. Find the thoughts, find the feelings, find the desires that have brought you here, that have brought me here. You can feel it in your body. Just put your finger or your hand wherever that feeling is, just to magnify it. Honor the dignity of the deepest desires within us, that is participating in the desire of the cosmos for more intimacy, for more uniqueness, for more love. Trusting that this is where we need to be, and this is our opportunity to show up and to fulfill our calling for the next step of our evolutionary journey. Just take one more breath into that yearning, that allurement. Now let's open our eyes and look around the room and see, I don't know how many, 24 other allurements in bodies, people with unique stories, unique desires and needs and longings for more love, for more goodness, more truth, and more beauty, more knowledge, more gnosis, wisdom. Know that we're all in this together, participating in the evolution of love. So thank you all for grounding us, grounding yourself, grounding us together. And I turn to Kristina to bring us into continuing to build our container here.
Thank you, David. Everybody just bow to David. Also to the energy that we can feel building and thickening in the spaces between us. I'm just so excited to be with this global group of folks from all over the United States. And we've got Canada, we've got Buenos Aires, that's so exciting. We've got Belgium and Latvia. As we continue to deepen, I'm going to get David to pull up a document for me here. And let's say 3/4 of us have been in a study group on a Saturday before. So we're familiar with this process we've gone through over time to build the covenants or the guidelines that we're offering into the space to be together. These will also be on Sutra, and I'll read them slowly. And right now we're just going to kind of reiterate them, as well as invite anyone to speak to them in Sutra. We won't comment on them afterwards just because of all the content that we want to get to today, but we can definitely speak to them in Sutra. So here they are. So we agree to confidentiality. So we take in what people have said and we don't repeat it without permission, or if we want to share it with a friend or something, we don't use a name. We agree to being visible, to speaking clearly. This is really important, right? Because we are a multilingual group of people, and also we're using technology. So always try to make sure that when you speak into your camera, we can see your mouth and we can hear you clearly. Also mute when not speaking to reduce distractive sounds. I did mute some folks as they came in. Just know that you'll always want to check that. We can control for that right at the beginning, but keep yourself muted unless you're speaking. Be generous with each other. Hear all voices. Keep meetings timely. Be in God, goddess-like energy. Speak from our own experiences. Use I statements. Lean into our growth edge. Follow process instructions as closely as possible. Invite each other's unique contributions. Allow room for silence to fill the space whenever possible. Honor what emerges in the we space. And finally, for now, hold space for emotional processing without interruption. And as you can see, David pasted into the chat box all the agreements, and just a little side note, which is the chat box is a great place to say hello, to resonate things that are being spoken. And if you have any issues you need addressing, speaking them there. There is the everyone button so everyone can see, but if you have an issue, it would be better if you sent it to just myself or David or Jamie, so we can help you deal with that. So let us see where we're going next. So thank you for your presence with that. And I turn my word to Claire in France. I forgot France. So Claire.
Thank you so much, Kristina. Thank you. And thank you, David, for letting us tap into the field of allurement that brought us all here together. It's just so alive, so vibrant, that connection. So yes, again, if there is anything that you want to add to this covenant, or that you have a question about, just be sure to, bring it to Sutra, to bring it to us. This is not set in stone. It can evolve. It's just it's an evolving covenant, obviously. So feel free to bring your uniqueness into it, and we'll consider it. So, has everybody had a chance to read the story of the box in the email that we sent? Just raise your hand if you have. Okay, so I see most hands are up. Maybe a few are not. I'll just speak to it very quickly, just because it's such a it's one of those stories that I've heard it so many times, and probably many of you have as well. It's become a myth. It's a story that speaks to uniqueness, and Dr. Mark, I think, first mentions it in his book Soul Prince, and it's an anecdote about his first son Etan, years ago when they used to live in Israel, so probably 25 or 30 years ago, I don't know exactly, maybe 25. And so Etan is a young kid, he's probably 6 or 7, and Mark used to travel a lot, and Etan gives him a box just about at the moment he was leaving on a trip. And so he gives him a box, and Dr. Mark forgets that box somewhere in his car. And when he returns, his son, who's really a small kid, asks him if he looked at the box. And Dr. Mark is really embarrassed because he hasn't looked at the box. He forgot about the box. And so he runs to the box, and because he realizes that it was important for his child. And so he tries to catch up to make up with them, and he opens the box, and he finds a few things in this box. He finds a shell, a doorknob, a little a notebook, a pencil, and he asks his son, what is this, Etan? And Etan tells him, Abba, in this box there was my stuff. And what the story speaks about is, it speaks about the fact that we all have a box, and that we're all systematically misrecognized. It's not often that people have a the chance to see our box, or that we have a chance to share our box. Often people miss our box, we don't know how to show it, and we keep that box for ourselves. Or we forget about the box and we don't even know we have a box. So this story is really a metaphor for the way that unique selves are misrecognized in our culture, and how important it is to feel seen, to feel recognized, to know that our essence matters. And I see a few heads nodding, and I think it's because in every one of us there is this sense that, yes, this is true, it's so simple. Why is it that it's not often said, or it's not often acknowledged? There is a sense in our culture that we are not allowed to be unique. We're not allowed to be recognized. We have to melt in. We have to be to not be obsessed by ourselves. So this whole course is about reclaiming our uniqueness and being very clear about the distinction between uniqueness and separate self, right? I don't like the word ego, but we use it in this course a lot. And in this sense, ego and unique self is very different, and we'll talk about how to distinguish these two. So this is not about boosting the ego and becoming more, it's not even about talking about our talents and our qualities. It's about reclaiming essence. And this box, the story of the box is about reclaiming our essence. So we invited every one of you to think about, what would you put in that box? You know, we all have a box, and what's in that box? And because we are a lot and we don't have so much space, what we're going to do is create breakout rooms, and you're going to meet with a few others, and you're going to have some time to share about one thing that is in this box. And if you haven't had a chance to think about it, you can think about it now. I'm sure you all have a sense of what would be in this box, and don't get limited to objects. It can be a thing, but it can also be a country, or it can be, you know, like a huge thing, like a piano or a mountain. So you can put anything in that box. That box can be as big as it needs to, but in that box there is the essence of you. So there is a poem that only you can write. There is something about your unique story in that box. So we're going to share about this, and then we'll come back here and we'll go around the room, having shared, each one of you would have shared about your object. And when we go around the room, and we'll have each person just name that thing that you shared about, so that we can feel you and presence you with just a name. No need to explain. You'll just be presencing what you put in that box. And this is how we are starting to introduce ourselves and presence ourselves. So when you're on the other side of that, when you're receiving the other person talking about their box, just tap into their essence, right? It's just see the light that comes through that person when they share about something that speaks about their essence, so that we're starting to train ourselves to receive each other from that consciousness of unique self. Okay? So we'll do that, we'll practice that in our breakout rooms, and then when we come back together and each person names their object, we continue to practice that as we presence each other. Okay? Any questions? All clear? Heya, yes. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, what's not clear to me is my essence. I thought it was my true self, but now I understand it's my unique self.
Yes,
Right?
this will become very clear to you through this course. True self is you are an expression of true self, and through your unique essence, true self comes through uniquely. So when what you put in your box speaks about Heya.
So the unique
is not clear. We
No.
both have our true self expressions, unique expressions.
So it's about the unique, my unique essence.
Yes.
What's in the box? Yeah, okay, I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super.
Yeah.
Claire, did you already say how much time everyone's gonna get?
No, I didn't. 5 minutes, we said.
5 minutes each, right? For groups of
Yeah.
3.
So you have spacious time to really tap into your essence and to share, so that it's real, right? And again, the ones that are listening, you're just really receiving that unique essence, creating the field, the collective field for that to come through. Okay, so you should all go into breakout rooms, and we'll see you on the other side. So Jacqueline, yes. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Hi. I didn't know what I was supposed to do, where I was supposed to go. I guess nobody put me, I thought we were going to stay in the same room. But anyways.
spot.
Okay. Do we have everybody back?
Get there.
Back. So as we are in that, oh, I can't believe Suzette's here. Wow. Let's stay in that field.
Hey, Jackie. It's Jacqueline. Hi, honey. One of my good friends. I'm sorry.
As we are still filled with everybody's essence, we're going to go around the circle and presence everyone with their share, with the item that they have shared. So we're just going to have you say, presence yourself with that name or word or item. And I'm going to call you a little bit simpler according to how you appear on my screen. So I'll start with Leslie Farron in Quebec.
Anne-Marie, I'm sorry, it's my ex-husband account apparently that's still showing. It's a jewel, a heart with water in it. That's it. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. So the practice is to receive and to feel Leslie's essence. Kim Sams.
It's Anne-Marie, remember it's
Oh, Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie, yeah.
And the name is important, so thank you, David. Yeah. Kim Sams, your turn. So you need to unmute yourself. Yes.
I would put my oldest son's shoes and his glasses in the box.
Thank you. Margie Torres.
It's a Vision Weaver inspired by dream catchers, and I made it. It's my art piece.
Thank you, Margie. Medea. You need to unmute yourself, my dear.
It's a strand of hair, a very precious that belonged to my late son, that I cut as 13 years ago. That's what's in my box as the most precious thing right now.
Thank you, Medea. Jamie Long.
For me is my 19-year-old. I discovered I lived in Japan, and so I have this little dictionary and all my beautiful friends and discovery of my heritage. So that's in my box.
Thank you. Ugis in Latvia.
Yeah, I have a vision where I am standing on the high mountain and singing song. It's about high mountain and how far the voice could be heard. Yeah.
Thank you, Ugis. I feel you. Myra in Sacramento.
So in my box would be, as I see my essence as a student, and so I imagine that if it were tangible items, it would be a million gazillion things that I've learned in this life experience.
Thank you, Myra. Bernesa in Argentina.
Hello, everybody. In my box, I would put my passports. Plural.
Plural. Thank you. Deborah. Deborah Mangala. And you need to unmute yourself, Deborah. Yes.
So in my box, I put yes, my girl is
A medal.
yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Deborah.
Yeah.
Nicole in Belgium.
Yes. That's one of the books in my life. Books are important.
Thank you, Nicole. Renee Godet in Canada.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you. In my box, it would be laughter and travel. Thank you.
Thank you. Jacqueline Price. Jacqueline Price, can you hear us? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
In my box, I would put my trust. I rely on my trust and it just grows and grows.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kirsten Zohar in Germany. Or Radiant.
Thinking what can represent all of that that I'm thinking about. I see a burning heart, and the burning heart connects me to everyone and to the highest heavens and the highest visions and to the earth and the place.
Thank you, Kirsten, sister. Denver Hudson.
Hi, everyone. It's this beautiful rock that has a circle in it. It reminds me to live what is essential from a place of wholeness.
Thank you. Beautiful. Rwand, is that how I should pronounce your name? Rwand? R-W-A-N-D?
Claire, she's Gina.
Oh, Gina.
Yeah.
Hi, Gina. Thank you. You need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself, Gina.
Okay, I did.
There you go.
Hi. Well, what came up for me was the word connecting with others, enjoying the process of seeing me help others to connect and with each other. And then I thought of almost like a cutout of a golden paper of just the paper cutouts of people just holding on to one another and sort of an endless rhythm of connection that way.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Vashti, your turn.
In my box is a cactus flower.
A cactus flower. Thank you, Vashti. Does it have a color?
It's kind of a creamy golden white color.
Thank you. Gea? In Holland?
In my box, I found the memories of my dog. And the essential words are loyalty, connection, and intimacy. And unique connection with this dog. Yes.
Thank you, darling. The trio over there, David, Kristina, and Suzette, in any order.
Hello, everyone. In my box is some pieces, a shell and polished glass that I found in the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, which is right out my window here. And that is what is in my box, the whole of the Pacific Ocean, because it represents all that emerges and all that evolutionary process that we're all engaged in. I turn my word to David.
Thank you,
So,
Kristina.
Mine is a pendant of Saint Ignatius of Loyola, who is the founder of the Jesuits.
Thank you, David.
Mine is this right here. Moment in time.
She's put us in a
I'm
box.
ready to stop. Yes, here, get in my box. They're in my box. You're all in my box.
Thank you, Suzette. Lynn Davis. Dear Lynn.
Okay, unmuted. Okay. Lovely to see all of you. In my box is our trees and a Pegasus. So both I feel are connected to the earth and then also connected to the heavens. So that's in my box.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
And Becca.
I add to our magical box the sacred fire hearth outside, which honors the 4 directions and is lit with reverence and healing dances and songs and stories are told around it. And then we lie back and look at the sparks ascending through the trees into the sky and the stars up there, and we are whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Becca. I think I didn't forget anyone, right? I'll share what I put in my box. This is a little Ganesha, a wooden Ganesha, and it's the remover of all obstacles. It's been with me for over 40 years. And that would be definitely a prime item in my box. Yeah. So thank you everyone for presencing our unique circle here. And this is only the beginning of our adventure. And I find it's such an intimate way to come together. And before we go today, we just have a few more things to cover. We'll finish on time. I just want us to think about our intention. You know, we've been gathering and talking about what we're going to do together, looked at the
Peux-tu, s'il te plaît, venir chercher Sam? J'ai presque fini.
yeah, I'm gonna mute. Yeah. So now it's time to gel our intention, right? We're coming together. We've presenced each other. Let's tap into our intention. And so we're going to be really prompt here. We're just going to tap into our heart, our deepest heart's desire. What brings me here? And either think it or jot it down in the chat box if you're more of a writing person. I'm going to hear maybe like 3 intentions, and then we'll raise it up together. So whoever wants to raise their hand, speak their intention, or jot in the chat box, just tap into what brings me here, what allured me to this place, why do I want to learn about unique self? What am I doing here? Medea.
To me, more than learning about unique self, because the death of my son brought me right into birthing my unique self, is more wanting to connect. It's connection, because I've been a little isolated since the pandemic. And so that yearning, that longing to connect back with, humanity from a heart, soul space.
Beautiful.
That's definitely, that very clearly, that's my intention.
Beautiful. Thank you, Medea. Welcome. Lynn.
I got presence, divine love. So really reflecting, seeing all your faces and all this. Yeah, it's just overflowing. So presence, divine love.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I can read David's intention, and a few people are writing in the chat box as well. Let's take one more. Is there one more person who wants to speak their intention? Raise your hand. Yes, Vashti. You need to unmute yourself, dear.
I wanted to be surrounded by people who are actively engaged in making the world a more loving place, because that was my goal.
Vashti. And in the chat box, I'm seeing David's intention to create community for launching Unique Self Institute, Margie to become a better leader, and it just keeps coming. Kirsten, to deepen my practice embodiment of the basics of our Dharma, not to take it for granted and to connect. I hear a lot of desire to connect. So as we tap into our own intention, can we all do that exercise that Dr. Mark Gaffney invites us to do all the time whenever he starts a new teaching, and whenever he gathers with people, he gathers all the intention and then we raise it up. We gather all these intentions and we raise it up for the highest intention possible, because intention is magic. This is how we create. We create through tapping into our heart's desire and feeling the energy and feeding that energy into being. So we can be audacious with our intention. We can take risks, right? And what would be the highest, the most audacious intention we can have together? It would be to do it all for the evolution of love, right? We're all here to evolve love together. And how can we do that on our own? So I invite us to raise all of our intention and to offer them up to the benefit of the evolution of love. May we all be part of that in our highest way possible. Can we all do that together? Yes? Yes. Awesome. Awesome. So I see that time is running and we want to speak to buddy partners. So David is going to take over and tell us about that world of, yeah,
Study
buddy.
buddies.
Study buddies.
Yes, thanks, Claire. Thanks for helping to elevate our intention and make it really weave it together for something larger that we can all focus our love and our intention on. So that's beautiful. There's many ways that we're going to try to promote community and support everyone's embodiment of the principles and the practices. And one of those ways is what we're calling study buddies. So what we'll do is, as Kristina is getting the study buddies set up, we're going to match everybody with one other person. And the intention is that between now and our next session, that you'll find time, maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour, whatever works for both of you. Find time to get together and really just get to know each other at this point, right? Maybe ask, speak into your intentions, or maybe, inquire together, what's this course all about, right? It's just sort of connect, right? Find time to connect, support each other, get to know each other. You can ask about what brought them here. You can share your story of what brought you here. You can share what you want to get out of the course, what you want to give to the course. But really, it's at this point, it's really create your own little dyad of community. And note that we will be rotating. We'll be changing your study buddies each time. So whoever you get this time will not be the person you get next time. It's of course not absolutely obligated. If you really can't or would rather not, that's understandable. Just let Jamie know, let Jamie know, right? Yeah, email Jamie and we can set you up with somebody else. In that case, if something happens and you're not able to meet with your person, we can do that. Okay. And so Kristina's going to let me know.
Ready.
You ready? Okay. So we're going to break everyone up into breakout groups right now. And the intention right now is just to say hi and exchange contact information. And if you have time, see if you can schedule in a time to meet. You can do it on the phone, you can do it on Zoom, whatever works. Okay, it's not, we're just going to give you 2 minutes. So there's no time to ask about anything else really, but say hi, kind of welcome each other and get contact information. And if you can, schedule a time to meet. Okay. Any quick questions? Does it make sense, the intention of study buddies? Okay.
Thank you.
Great. So we're going to open up the rooms, click join, and then you'll be taken to your study buddy. And what are we doing?
2 questions.
I can just join the audio from here and you can go to another room and talk to whoever.
Why?
How come I can't hear you? You're not on mute.
In the email.
Oh, I guess I don't have a study buddy.
No, you're with me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're gonna have a study buddy. You wanted to have a study buddy. So we're gonna try and finish on time, and for that.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay. Sorry. Yeah, so we're good, right? So we'll just, I don't know how much time it's been.
Probably.
But
we need to go back and come back in. It's going to be 2 and 2. That's enough.
2 and 2.
Right?
Oh, yeah. So yeah. I'm going to close them now.
In 1 minute. Give them another minute. It was really short.
Right. Well, it gives them 60 seconds to come back. So, well, and then after that, you're going to close with what to focus on, right? And then we'll
Yeah.
have a brief announcements.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Yes.
Hi, hey, yeah.
Hi. Yes, she doesn't know how to unmute, I think, because she is muted, so we can't.
Oh, Deborah.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Okay, well, we can send email. I'm gonna close the.
We'll send an email with
But
your.
she's back now. She's back now.
Okay, we'll send an email with the information.
So, you can hear me now.
Yeah,
you
now we can hear you.
So Deborah and Heya, if maybe what you can do in the chat box, if you can just send each other your email or your phone number.
Yeah.
Can we do
so
that?
that you can connect.
Then you can connect on offline anyhow you want. Okay.
So what I'm gonna do now quickly before we end is
We still have a few people that haven't come yet. So.
Okay.
yeah, I think we're all back. Welcome back. That was really quick. And this is why we have sutra as well. Once it's the beginning and you're not used to it, but once you'll be used to the space, it'll be very easy for you to find each other in that community space. So with the last minutes that we have, I just want to really quickly share my screen to show you what your space is going to look like on Sutra, so that you know what to do for next session, right? So as Jamie said, you have a session, each session is a unique space, right? So today was the opening circle. So what you'll do when you get into your space, after you start here and welcome and orientation, these are the general things that you can read about Sutra. You'll go to your opening circle, which is today's session. And as you see, we've presented ourselves in the circle. So if you want to add, what you shared here today, you might want to post it as a message. You don't have to. It's for people who might not be in that session, but you can definitely do that. And more important, you'll have different resources that will prepare you for the first session of the course. You have your course space. What we want you to focus, as you'll see, the course is very dense. And what I'm going to try to do is direct you to the most important pieces in each of the sessions. Of course, you're welcome to explore all the resources, but you might not have the time. So what I would really encourage you, and there's no obligation here, of course, it's up to you, but what I encourage you is to listen to the three part 1, 2, and 3 of the main teaching of session 1. If you don't have time, you can skip all the optional course recordings. But those 3 parts are important. You also have a transcript for it if you prefer to read. But Mark's voice has a transmission power, so I really recommend to listen to it. It's transmission, it's oral transmission. So voice is much better. And so once you've done that, the practice that I'd like you to focus on, you'll see there are 2 practices. The practice I'd like you to focus on is the confession of greatness, the unique self-confession, right? So we'll talk much more about this in the next session, of course, but and all of this is written, and that's why it's important to orient here. All of this is written here in the opening circle. I had a poem to read. I want to be mindful of our time, so I'm not going to read it, but it's here, and please read it. It's a unique self poetry. I'll be sharing poems all the time here, so I'm sad not to read this poem right now, but I really invite you to discover it in our space. And I'm going to turn my word over to our Kristina, who's going to take us into announcements. And I'll stop sharing.
Thank you so much, Claire. And again, thank you everyone for contributing in the ways that you have today to this space. So yes, this is goodbye, but before we say goodbye, reminding everyone that we gather together every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, noon Central time, 7 p.m. Central European time to sense make in One Mountain Many Paths on Zoom. So I hope to see and feel each of you there tomorrow. And then every Monday we gather 1 hour later for writing to the evolutionary love code that we heard in One Mountain Many Paths the day before. And that's really a deeply intimate, creative, communal space. So you're all welcome to join us every Monday for that. And then as you saw, the instructions for our bi-monthly, I guess, we're meeting twice a month. This group will see everyone in 2 weeks. And if you want to just unmute and just shout out your goodbyes, that is what we are doing now. And thank you for giving us all your 90 minutes today. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, whatever it is that you do. Making hearts, throwing kisses. Bye bye.
Rebecca.
Bye.
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 Thank you, Anne-Marie. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Denver.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining, Gina and Jacqueline. Yes.
Leave me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Lynn.
Bye, Becca.
Everyone, much
Who just?
Bye-bye. Love you. See you later.
See you tomorrow.
Who just doesn't want to leave?
Bye-bye. Claire and Jamie will stay on for the post meeting. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Anne-Marie.
Bye. Bye, Anne-Marie.
Be with you.
Mwah. Thank you.
All right. So, hey, we did it.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I
whoa,
can't
whoa.
believe you're there. I want to be in that room.
Yeah, right.
I know. Isn't that fantastic?
Oh,
Oh, wow.
we made it. And
We
we
did it.
are almost on time.
Almost, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And you know, one
the
thing
internet went well after all. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.